We're glad you're with us this evening. I'm Terry Brewer. Lynn Brooks is on assignment tonight. The Facebook website has been getting a lot of attention lately because of changes it's made to its layout. But investigators remind you it's not just what you see on your screen you should be worried about, but who you're contacting online. In our top story at 5, reporter Leah Knight introduces you to a young West Alabama woman who had a brush with online deception.
Facebook has more than 800 million active users. With numbers like that, there are bound to be some dangers out there. University of Alabama student Jenna Clary believes she ran into a potential trap when someone contacted her about making a movie in her hometown.
I was very skeptical of it the whole time, but I just thought that I would try to see if it was real, because if it was, that'd be awesome, to be involved in making a movie.
Clary started asking questions, and that's when the contact stopped.
That night, he chatted me again. He was like, well, I've been thinking about you today. And I was like, okay, that's really weird. I asked him for proof of the production company, and he couldn't give it to me, so that's how I knew it wasn't real.
Computer forensics investigator William A. Wesson says those are the type of warnings you should watch out for.
Businesses and stuff actually have accounts on Facebook now. If they constantly are contacting you at different times, even talking about their business and stuff, but if they're contacting you after hours or you get numerous contacts from them, that would be another thing.
Wesson says if you see something that seems odd, don't be afraid to speak up.
If someone creates a fake profile, actually you should contact Facebook in reference to that, and they can actually take that profile off.
Danger can be just a few clicks away, but so can protecting yourself. If you have a Facebook, go to the top right of your screen, click on the arrow, and then click Privacy Settings. That will give you a number of ways you can control your online identity and who comes in contact with you. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Leah Knight, WVUA News.
Investigator Wesson also says if you block someone and that person continues to make unwanted contact, it becomes harassment. He says you should report that to your local police department. Speaking of technology and how we communicate, there are laws in Alabama that now address text messaging when it comes to domestic violence. There are also other changes to laws affecting domestic violence. You'll hear more about that tonight on WVUA News at 6 o'clock. There are several updates this evening for people recovering from the April storms. Today marked the deadline to apply for federal assistance to remove debris from properties in Tuscaloosa. If you have applied and you have more questions, you can call Tuscaloosa's 311 information line. Last week, Tuscaloosa County Probate Judge Hardy McCollum said today's deadline is for citizens to get as much debris moved as they can by the Corps of Engineers. McCollum said even after the deadline passes, debris removal will still continue, but it will not be as frequent. And some new numbers from the University of Alabama give an idea of the impact of this year's storms when it comes to the state's construction industry. The report shows Alabamians will spend somewhere between $2.6 billion and $4.2 billion on rebuilding efforts. Researchers expect about $1 billion will be spent this year, with the remainder following next year. And the Federal Emergency Management Agency estimates it has about $114 million left in its disaster relief account. FEMA says that's enough to last until Thursday or Friday, and that means FEMA may not need any additional money to function until the new fiscal year begins on Saturday. It takes some pressure off House and Senate leaders who've been unable to reach a compromise on a bill providing disaster relief and financing the government until mid-November. Speaking of storms, folks in Mississippi are dealing with the aftermath of a tornado. The National Weather Service confirms a tornado touched down in Cleveland, Mississippi last night around 8:15. That's in northwest Mississippi. Meteorologists there received reports of trees toppling onto houses as well as major damage to a subdivision north of Cleveland and to the city's Walmart and Sears stores.
Most of the stores that received damages are open this morning. I don't think that the Sears store is open just yet, but I believe everything else is back in operation. There may be one or two other buildings that received some roof damage that won't be able to open until they get that fixed. But other than that, we were pretty lucky last night.
The National Weather Service is in the area today investigating the strength of the storm. President Obama is on the campaign trail, and he's also trying to raise support for his new plan to create jobs. The president was on the West Coast today at a town hall meeting in Mountain View, California, where he talked to members and employees of the LinkedIn professional networking website. The president says it's not going to fix everything, but it will help get many people to a better place.
Is that we're going to help reduce the barriers to refinancing so that folks can get record low rates. That'll put more money into people's pockets. It'll provide tax cuts to not only small businesses, but almost every middle-class family. That means they've got more money in their pockets, and that means that they're going to be able to spend it on products and services, which provide additional incentives for businesses to hire folks like you. So it's the right step to take right now.
Obama also said the country needs to make adjustments to Social Security so it's there for future generations. On your Money Watch, something you don't hear every day about the economy, tens of thousands of new jobs. It has to do already with Christmas shopping. Macy's is planning to fill 78,000 temporary spots this holiday season. That's a 4% increase over last year. There are no Macy's stores in Tuscaloosa, but there are 2 in Birmingham. Some of the seasonal positions are part-time, but the company says in some cases they could lead to permanent jobs. Macy's stock rose 2% following that announcement. Also on your Money Watch, something the post office is doing, hoping to help their financial situation. The post office is going to start featuring people on stamps who are still alive. The public can help choose the top 5 living honorees on the Postal Service's Facebook or Twitter pages, and of course, by regular mail. Right now, notable people have to be dead for at least 5 years before they can be on a stamp. By the middle of next year, that will change. Officials hope this will encourage more young people to buy stamps.